is ZNS. This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. Murphy Knowles in police custody amid ongoing Carey family saga. Later, a justice of the peace warns Bahamians to organize their affairs. And unemployment rates in the Bahamas hit lowest point in 16 years.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, unemployment in the Bahamas has plummeted to its lowest recorded level since 2008. According to the latest figures from the National Statistical Institute, Minister of Labor and the Public Service, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, expressing optimism about these positive gains, viewing them as a strong indicator of the Bahamas' promising economic prospects. More details in this report. In the first half of 2024, the unemployment rate stood at 8.7%, which is a 1.2 decrease compared to the end of 2023. This is lower than the 8.8% recorded in May 2023, making it the lowest recorded unemployment rate in 16 years. The unemployment data collected by NSI revealing widespread gains across demographic groups compared to the fourth quarter of 2023, including increases in unemployment for both men and women, as well as youth. Labor Minister, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, sees these improvements as indicators of the Bahamas' encouraging economic outlook and the potential for growth in the labor market under the Davis administration. She says the decrease in the unemployment rate over the past 3 years is proof that the economic and labor market policies of the Davis administration are working. She says they've generated growth by expanding and diversifying key industries, bringing in over $10 billion in new investments and making key government investments in infrastructure, digitalization, and support for local businesses. Given the positive impact of our policies, Glover-Roll says we expect to see even more good news in the coming months. Minister Glover-Roll adding that the Ministry of Labor and the Public Service has worked closely with the Department of Labor on major job initiatives like the Labor on the Blocks and the Labor on the Campus Job Fair initiatives, Job Readiness Initiative hosted directly by the Department of Labor and at the National Training Agency, and a push for more Bahamian labor market participation at every level. She says through job fairs, thousands of Bahamians have been linked with employers, and when they meet with major investment projects such as the resorts and private island destinations that are being expanded, the government makes it clear that the vast majority of jobs should be allocated for Bahamians. She adds at the same time, through the enforcement of notice of vacancy policies for Bahamianization of our workforce, we are securing high-quality opportunities for Bahamians in high-demand areas, as well as managerial and leadership positions. Moving forward, Minister Glover-Roll says that the Ministry of Labor will continue to support the Davis administration's agenda by not only targeting job market growth, but also by spurring economic expansion through enhanced labor market productivity brought on by a slate of ongoing reforms to modernize and strengthen the local labor market. Switching gears now, North Abaco MP Kirk Cornish described as an individual who was quiet all his life. This as the defense wrapped up its case in the Supreme Court today. Cornish is facing charges of rape and assault, and Justice Renee Mackey today ruled that the threats of death charge will also proceed. The defense called one character witness to the stand, Apostle Cedric Bullard. Apostle Bullard and Cornish grew up together in the small settlement of Cooperstown, Abaco. He testified testified that he has never seen Cornish get in a fight and described the MP as one of the most quiet people in the entire community. Apostle Bullard adding that he was shocked to hear of the alleged rape case, especially because he had been encouraging Cornish and the woman in question, who is his niece, to get married. He said that as an MP, Cornish, whose father is also a pastor, regularly visits his church and supports the community on almost every special occasion. With that, Justice McKee informed the 9-member jury that they will hear the closing arguments from the prosecution and the defense on Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Well, in news from the crime beat, police on Grand Bahama need your assistance in locating a black Nissan Fit, license plate number AS2992, which was stolen from Beachway Drive on Monday, October 28, 2024. If you have any information about this theft or see the vehicle, contact Police Emergency at 911-919, the nearest police station, or Criminal Investigations Department in Grand Bahama. Anonymous tips are encouraged and can be submitted to Crime Stoppers at 300-TIPS. This matter remains under active police investigation. Well, in other news, a justice of the peace is urging individuals to draft their wills promptly. His warning comes amid a recent dispute over power of attorney involving a caretaker and an elderly woman with dementia, highlighting the critical importance of clear estate planning to avoid complications and ensure that personal wishes are respected.
Old folks had a problem with talking about wills and properties, and that's where we went wrong in this country.
Justice of the Peace Bishop Reno Smith is urging Bahamians to draft wills early, warning that neglecting to do so can lead to complications for those with property or assets.
Get your house in order, prepare your documents, and in the preparation of your documents, have what is called a live will, a living will. All right, I have stuff in mind that says if I become mentally incompetent or if I'm hooked up to a machine and the doctor say I have to be on this for so much, my will state that I'm to be hooked up to no machine more than 1 month. You have to be progressive in your thinking. Plan those things.
Smith underscoring the importance of wills to determine how estates are inherited. Without one, assets are distributed by law to nearest relatives, regardless of personal wishes.
As soon as they're capable, you legal and you have something to will. Don't, and even if you don't have nothing to will, leave written instructions as to your funeral arrangements. I have all of my stuff in order. Nothing is to be left. No one needs to call my wife and say, well, I was his best friend. He would have wanted me to speak. No, I have whoever I want on my program, and I ain't going nowhere yet. But tomorrow isn't promised to anyone.
His comments follow a contentious dispute involving a caretaker and an elderly woman with dementia. While the caretaker previously claimed power of attorney, the woman's sister contested. He says the situation reinforces the urgent need for clear estate planning.
I strongly recommend that people do wills while they have their competency. I did my first one at 19, and every January I update my will, all right? Because someone might have died, and I want to take somebody out of it as well. But listen, this is an eye-opener for us.
Well, in other news, the Bahamas Statistical Census has revealed that there has been a decline in marriages from 2010 to 2022, but an increase in divorce. The revelation continues to be a topic of discussion for many. Tonight, an attorney at law addresses whether or not the idea of marriage has changed for some. Jolanda Thompson-Everest has more in this report.
Reports of a decline in marriage but an increase in divorce is a concern for many in the Bahamas. Attorney at law Constance McDonald shedding light on some contributing factors to the increase in divorce.
The world is changing, and you know what we discovered was during COVID, when a lot of persons were forced to remain indoors among themselves. This was a new thing because, you know, ordinarily people have things that keep them busy, back and forth, work, functions, etc., etc. Now, when you're forced to be in a home by yourself with just your spouse and children, sometimes you find that, you know, things aren't what you really thought.
McDonald noting that her office had seen a surge in consultation calls regarding marital issues. However, she adds that with the influence of the internet and societal challenges, this too plays a role in the decline.
When they see what's happening with marriages, I think a lot of people are afraid to get married because so many marriages end in divorce. So many marriages, you're not married for long. Like, I've dealt with persons who were dating for years and then they got married. And then within, not even the first year of marriage, not even a year, they're coming to me, they want a divorce.
The attorney further observed that cell phones, among other electronics, can be seen as a distraction, contributing to the lack of communication. She also implies that for some individuals, they are simply no longer interested in marriage.
They want their freedom. And again, the very idea of marriage is changing. Persons are not tolerant like they used to be because they realize that they don't have to put up with a lot of things from the other side.
Despite the downward trend, she concludes that marriage remains and requires commitment.
Nothing to do with feelings. But people don't understand that.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Thanks, Yolanda. Meantime, the woman who is at the center of a controversy involving 77-year-old Ingrid Carey's power of attorney is behind bars tonight. This following days of public outcry that alleged Murphy Knowles took advantage of the senior citizen as she signed over her home and NIB checks to the proprietor of Home Away from Home. Our Shelia Roll joins us live now from Central Police Station.
That's right, Raven. It's a story that you heard first on the ZNS Northern Edition. Days later, I'm standing in front of Central Police Station, where right behind me, Murphy Knowles, the proprietor of Home Away from Home, is being questioned in relation to fraud complaints.
To fix this.
Go ahead.
You don't have to fix this. It has to be fixed.
Our ZNS News team speaking with Assistant Commissioner of Police Shanta Knowles on the latest development. She says Knowles was picked up and brought into custody around 10 a.m. on Tuesday morning.
I have Ms. Knowles, Murphy Knowles, in custody in connection with a fraud investigation. As you are aware, the country became aware of a complaint that had been made to our department and the incidents that occurred here on Grand Bahama last week.
Now to recap, last week Philippa Carey, the daughter of Ingrid Carey, told ZNS Northern Service Murphy Knowles had the power of attorney over her mother, which also included Carey's home, NIB, and pension. Fast forward, following days of protests and public outcry, this led to Sharon Thompson, the sister of Ingrid Carey, stepping up to show that she has the power of attorney over her sister since 2011, which concluded with the release of Ingrid Carey from the assisted living facility. In an interview last night, the family representative said that since the release of Carey, more questions than answers arise about the facility.
There's been a lot of brainwashing. So just take that and you let that land where you need to let it land.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Shanta Knowles says that the arrest of Murphy Knowles is in connection to only one complaint, adding that there were no other complaints filed against the Home Away from Home.
We've had no other complaints as it relates or in connection with this home as it relates to fraud complaints.
ACP Shanta Knowles says that matters like this take time before charges can be made.
We are hoping that we would get to a position where we can have a successful conclusion, but we know that these kind of matters, fraud matters, do take a lot of time to investigate and to gather evidence before we can talk about preferring charges on someone and putting them before the courts.
Now, once again, while Knowles may be in custody for questioning in regards to fraud charges, no formal complaints have been filed. Coming to you live from Central Police Station for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shelia Roll.
And still to come.
Junkanooers bid farewell to the Harbor Boys legend. That story and sports highlights when we return.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse, the people. who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Dolly Madison is having a 2-day store-wide sale on October 25th and 26th for their 2-year anniversary under new ownership. Get up to 25% off on a variety of items, from household to hardware, you name it. Sale hours on Friday will be from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's Dolly Madison's 2-year anniversary sale. Up to 25% off. You don't want to miss it. Dolly Madison.
It's the Bahamas Women of God Fellowship Network's 3rd annual gathering, November 1st through the 3rd at the Church of God Temple in Freeport, hosted by the Grand Bahama Women of God Ministry with the theme Chosen for His Glory. For more information, call 807-6036. Third Dementia construction will be closed from Wednesday, October 23rd to Friday, October 25th. Stay tuned in for more information on reopening and exciting updates. Third Dimension thanks you for your support, understanding, and patience.
Your #1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. It was a service of celebration for Canon Norman Lightbourne, as he has been serving in churches around the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos for 40 years. Family and friends gathering at the Pro-Cathedral of Christ the King Anglican Church to join in on the celebrations over the past weekend. Shalia Roll reports.
Family, friends, and colleagues gathering in the Pro-Cathedral of Christ the King, which was draped in red, gray, and white to celebrate the Ruby Jubilee of Father Canon Norman Lightbourne. Milton Lightbourne, the brother of Canon Lightbourne, standing before the church to express how proud he is of his brother.
And salute you as a true shepherd of the flock of Christ, whom he committed to your care.
We give thanks to God for the innumerable ways in which God has truly blessed this goodly canon throughout these 40 years of his priestly ministry. We give God thanks for the lives that have been saved, the souls that have been strengthened, and the families that have been nurtured and sustained through his dynamic and spirit-filled witness and sacrificial service.
Members of the Christian Council also adding to the impact that Canon Lightbourne has made in the Christian community.
Some 40 years ago, the Lord separated and called this wonderful man, and by divine guidance gave him an assignment to preach the gospel to God's people. Father Lightbourne's role as a minister in the Church of Christ is to watch over the people of God, to protect them, whether spiritual or natural.
And here is why colleagues and friends believed he was called to ministry.
To congratulate Father on 40 years to the priesthood.
He was called to be a priest. I am convinced of it. I want to congratulate you on 40 years already and to say, God go with you for the next 40.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Roll.
Meantime, the junkanoo community is mourning one of its own. Mikey Wright passed away on Friday, October 25th. The founder of the Harbor Boys junkanoo group is remembered as someone who gave his all to the craft, while also serving as a wealth of knowledge both here on Grand Bahama and in New Providence. Shane Stubbs has more in this report.
A junkanoo legend for over 40 years, Michael Wright will be sorely missed among the cultural community. Establishing the Harbor Boys junkanoo group after relocating to Grand Bahama years ago, Wright gave tirelessly to the craft, while forging relationships among the local junkanoo pioneers. Swingers leader Michael Miller remembers Wright for being selfless with his knowledge of the culture.
You could have gone to him, whether you were part of his group or not, and he would educate you with anything pertaining to junkanoo or culture.
Standing shoulder to shoulder with the likes of Anthony Hawk Williams, Kent Motorboat Ferguson, and Bob Davis, Wright helped propel the art form to new heights on the island, a lasting legacy he sees with a few of Wright's sons as current members of the Swingers junkanoo group.
I don't think there's anybody in Grand Bahama or the Bahamas who would form cardboard like Mikey Wright. And I've seen the work that his sons do, and they follow, to a T. I can say that the legacy, the legend, the knowledge of Mikey Wright will go on.
But more than someone who helped generate pushing the culture forward, his son Malik remembers him as a giant, a legend, and a helping hand to many.
He loved people, he put people before himself and sometimes before his family. And I can remember at times we would be in the shop with 20, 30 people and we got one bowl of food, 1 or 2 bowls of food, and he would share it amongst the people, just to make sure somebody have something to eat. He spoke about a lot of times that at Christmas times, a lot of the younger members, he would go and give them Christmas gifts and stuff like that. So he gave us all to the community of Grand Bahama. He gave us all to the community of junkanoo in Grand Bahama.
The Grand Bahama Junkanoo Corporation and the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture offering their condolences to the family, recognizing that the stalwart will be truly missed.
He is well known at almost every school on the island for his support and unselfish service.
We just want the family to know that they're in our prayers, and I'm sure in the next few days the minister will have a lot to say about Mikey and an official statement.
Now, a memorial service will take place here at the Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Church on November 7th, starting at 7 p.m. The family will then lay the late Mikey Wright to rest on November 9th, with the funeral service also taking place here at 10 a.m. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Well, on to more sad news tonight. Family, friends, and former colleagues alike bid their last farewell to World War II veteran Comrade Henry Stanley Kelman at Jubilee Cathedral. At the time of his passing, Kelman was the only living Bahamian World War II veteran out of the 800 who were deployed. Chairman of the annual Remembrance Day Committee, Cecil Thompson, reflects his admiration of Comrade Kelman, noting he is a key figure in the Bahamas' historical portfolio.
It was good today.
Direct Talk. One of the greatest shows we had, we featured at ZNS, Henry Kelman. And much of it the ambassador talked about, Henry Kelman talked. It was seen throughout the Bahamas, throughout the world. And so it is my honor, sir, to be here to make a small down payment on a debt we can never repay. Henry Stanley Kelman.
Acting Assistant Director of Education and former Principal Yvonne Ward sharing that it is very much important to observe the magnitude of Comrade Kelman's impact, especially for students who embark on the annual Remembrance Day March.
You could never pay them for the debt that they paid, for what they paid, for us, the debt that we owe, for what they have done. And so a small token, like Mr. Thompson said, we could never pay, so we do a down payment every year in having the Remembrance Day service. And so 35 years ago, when they decided to do that, Mr. Thompson decided to do that, we told the students that the least you can do is participate in the march and remember those persons. We never want you to forget what they did for you.
And now it is time to ask GBPC.
How does solar power benefit customers?
Thanks for your question. I'm Nikita Mullings, the Chief Operating Officer here at the Grand Bahama Power Company. Here at Grand Bahama Power Company, we remain committed to protecting our customers from the volatility of the fuel market. This solar plant here works to reduce and stabilize the cost of power for all of our customers through managing our fuel costs. What it does is protects us from the volatility of the fuel market as we become less dependent on fossil fuel.
And now a check on your local weather forecast.
Forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
See news in the making? Call us at 352-9713 or 359-5167, or you can email us at zns3news@gmail.com.
Hummus. It's a grand celebration honoring Apostle Leon Wallace. Friday, November 22nd at Grand Lucayan Resort, Grand Bahama, 6:30 p.m. Admission is free. Love gifts welcome. See you there.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I still want to put shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
And I still want to put shoes on your feet.
We still want to put shoes on your feet.
2 locations to put shoes on your feet. Downtown Freeport, and now our newest location in the Carmichael City Shopping Plaza, right behind the Walk-Up Wendy's, Carmichael Road West.
We all need to save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
Jade Champagne and the Rhythm presents 102.7 The Rhythm turns 3, and it's a big performance with Taurus Riley live. Taurus Riley live. Oh yeah, the hitmaker, the reggae icon, Taurus Riley live. Saturday, December 14th at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom. Doors open at 8 p.m., showtime 11 p.m. For 102.7 The Rhythm. Big birthday party with Taurus Riley. Live. Get tickets online now. TheRhythm3.com. And it's a big performance. Taurus Riley. Brought to you by Jade Champagne and The Rhythm. Saturday, December 14th, 102.7 The Rhythm turns 3 with Taurus Riley. Live.
Your number 1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that is going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, a renewed call for the death penalty as Foxhillians decry Monday's triple slaying. A distressing turn of events the country's top cop says may end in more bloodshed. Also, a pastor speaks to Kirk Cornish's character as the embattled Abaco MP's rape and assault trial draws to a close. And the Bahamas closes a chapter in its history as the past returns home. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. We begin tonight with breaking news of yet another homicide here in the capital. This one in the area of Mutton Fish Drive in the Golden Gates community. We hope to have those details for you in our 11 p.m. newscast. Meantime, Fox Hill residents still trying to make sense of the ruthless killing of 3 men yesterday, sharing what they think should be done in the wake of that tragedy. Danielle Dean visited the scene earlier today.
Feelings of anger and exhaustion amongst Fox Hill residents as they recall Monday's triple homicide involving home police confirm are innocent victims at a makeshift car shop. One resident claims at least one of the victims was simply getting his car fixed.
I'm very sorry to see something like that happen, but the people put on bail, I think they need to find a place for them to be. Send them on an out island where nobody is at. And I believe that the Bahamas would be more safer than what it is now.
All you need to do is enforce the law of the land.
At the end of the day, that same person would be sitting on with them set of people could have been right here with us. And we end up getting pop up for no reason.
J. Carl Ramming, pastor emeritus at St. Paul's Baptist Church, Fox Hill, considered a beacon of light for the community, adds the times have certainly changed.
I grew up in this area just about 2 minutes away from here. I recall Dawson Street, that's where I was born and grew up over 80 years ago. And of course, during my time, nothing like this.
One resident raised the issue of police surveillance, claiming he senses less criminal activity when they patrol. Officer in charge of Fox Hill Urban Renewal, Assistant Superintendent Jermaine Adderley, confirms that police were indeed making their rounds.
Not only the units was doing patrol, our own Commissioner of Police, along with the executive teams, was asking the proximity and so forth when it occurred. And that's the reason we had a rapid response to the scene.
Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernander adamantly stated at Monday's crime scene that 178 men are being electronically monitored on bail, assuring police will continue to investigate whether the incident was gang-related. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Well, police have since cut loose the identity of one of Monday's 3 shooting victims, 34-year-old Lady Slipper Avenue resident Christopher Strawn. Meantime, Brad Sands, a 22-year-old resident of Ackland Street, is said to be the man killed on Saturday, October 26, on West End Avenue. Well, yesterday's fatal shootings prompting Police Commissioner Clayton Fernander to make an eerie prediction stemming from the staggering number of people on bail for murder.
We have 178 young men on bail who are being monitored for murder, and some other individuals who are not being monitored. So you could imagine the retaliation in there. And if we don't address that to get some of those individuals behind bars for their safety, some other people will die. And we don't want no innocent persons to get caught up in that. And we say again to members of the public, please be aware of your surroundings. Be careful who you hang out with, because you become a target if you continue to be or support these individuals who continue to be in the life of crime.
Police noticing that relentless pursuit for a life of crime has led to another disturbing trend whereby criminals are using short-term rental properties as hideouts.
I also want to send a warning out to property owners who are using their homes for Airbnb. And we believe, and you will see in recent time, we send a number of wanted posters out. Individuals we are looking to question on a number of recent matters. We know where they live. We have already checked on numerous occasions. So they are not staying at home. We know they are still here in this country. So they are either shacking up with somebody or they are out our intel that they are renting these places. So owners of these properties, be careful. They will not come. They may send somebody else to rent it. But you have to pay attention to that, because you will find individuals hiding out in these areas.
Now, Monday's triple shooting also sparking reaction from the Prime Minister, who called that and incidents like yesterday's troubling. Mr. Davis today reiterating the appeal for reset in the way young people think and react. Gorval Pyfram has that angle.
Prime Minister Davis is renewing the call for an all-hands-on-deck approach to dealing with crime. Calling yesterday's fatal triple shooting in the Fox Hill community worrisome, Mr. Davis says it's time to find more effective ways of reaching the nation's youth. but he acknowledges that the retaliatory nature of these killings make them difficult.
And whenever it's retaliatory, it's very challenging to prevent. Saturation patrol is out there. A number of these areas and posts are being disrupted, but yet still they find a way to exact what they want to. And it's very troubling, and the time has come for us to find ways and means of resetting the minds of our young people.
The intended target of yesterday's shooting, a man who's on bail and being electronically monitored. Police Commissioner Clayton Fernanda has expressed concern about the large number of young men on bail awaiting trial for serious offenses like murder. The Prime Minister is sharing those concerns and says while steps are being taken to remedy this problem, there will be no quick fix.
These trials are taking more than 2 and 3 months. So if you have 170 trials, that's outstanding. What does that mean? How many months? That's almost 10 years to clean it up. So we are looking at initiatives to try to respond to the fact that trials are not happening quick enough and the courts are overwhelmed.
As it relates to speeding up the trial process, the Prime Minister points to more judges being added to the bench and the necessity for jury trials being removed as significant progress, though lots more work still needs to be done.
So we have done some things to try to rein in the time and period, but again, change takes time to take root. And though those changes are in place, it's taking a bit of time to take root. But we think at the end of the day, we will beat this scourge.
Monday's murders come just a week into the government implementing its latest phase of the crime-fighting strategy. Clear Hold Build is a multi-agency strategy that police use to tackle organized crime groups in communities. The program has been rolled out in the Anglerston constituency with plans to take it elsewhere in the coming weeks. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
Well, North Abaco MP Kirk Cornish described as an individual who was quiet all his life. This coming out as the defense wrapped up its case in the Supreme Court today. Cornish is facing charges of rape and assault, and Justice Renee McKay today ruled that the threats of death charge will also proceed. The defense called one character witness to the stand, Apostle Cedric Bullard. Apostle Bullard and Cornish grew up together in the small settlement of Cooperstown, Abaco. He testified that he has never seen Cornish get into a fight and described the MP as one of the most quiet people in the entire community. Apostle Bullard adding that he was shocked to hear of the alleged rape case, especially because he had been encouraging Cornish and the woman in question, who is his niece, to get married. He said that as an MP, Cornish, whose father is also a pastor, regularly visits his church and supports the community on almost every special occasion. With that, Justice McKay informed the 9-member jury that they will hear closing arguments from the prosecution and the defense on Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. A Global Construction Review online reporting that CCA Construction, along with CSCEC Bahamas and CCA Bahamas, today appealed to New York State Supreme Court judge's ruling that it owed the Baha Mar Resort's original developer $1.6 billion in damages due to contract breaches and fraud. In a statement sent to GCR, a spokesperson for the defendant said the lower court's decision is by no means the last word in this matter, and that the action taken to begin the appeal process is the first step towards correcting a ruling that misapplies basic principles of New York law, misconstrues core facts, and completely overlooks the consistently tireless construction work done by CCA Bahamas that ultimately completed the mega Baha Mar Resort. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
In the chaos of our daily lives, it's easy to be caught up in the rush. But when you're behind the wheel, remember, rushing can lead to disaster. Don't rush. Take your time. Remember, your life and others depends on it. Slow down. Stay alert and arrive alive. Because in the race of life, it's not about how fast you get there, but how safely.
This message is brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
KFC is giving you more to love with our KFC Bucket Meals with large size. Get
the KFC Family Bucket, featuring 8 pieces of juicy chicken, family fries, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4. A KFC Deluxe Bucket with 10 pieces of delicious chicken, 2 larger sides, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4 to 6. Or a KFC Party Bucket with 15 pieces of our chicken, 3 larger sides, and 6 biscuits that feeds 6. And we'll handle the dishes, plates, and utensils included, so you can lick your fingers and reach. KFC knows value, and it's finger licking good.
Whether you're crossing borders or navigating busy airports, with VTC's reliable data roaming, you're always in touch. In a fast-paced world, staying connected is key. Don't miss important moments. Stay connected effortlessly with VTC, wherever your journey takes you.
Legacy of Leadership. Join the International Third World Leadership Association for Legacy Weekend, November 8th to the 9th. November 8th, Legacy Leadership Lecture, honoring global leader. November 9th, Legacy Walk to Remember. Join us for the Legacy Reunion Concert.
Hey guys, it's Yolanda Adams. It's about to be a celebration, November 8th through the 10th at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center. I can't wait to see you. Come on.
Visit itwla.com for details. Don't miss Legacy Weekend.
The news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
You're looking at a shot there of the Nassau Yacht Club on East Bay Street. Welcome back. Secretary General of the Inter-American Conference on Social Security, Alvaro Velarca, commenting on the strain Social Security organizations experience due to climate change and worsening storms. Velarca says Social Security is one of the main contributors to a country's rebound following a passage of a devastating storm. In the Bahamas, Social Security comes in the form of national insurance, which Velarca says must always stand ready to assist when citizens are in need.
It is the Social Security one of the main tools that the governments have to solve these problems, because we can spread money in an emergency context to the population to survive, or there are some countries in the region, such as Mexico, where Social Security systems provide for health services and emergency services. So this is also very important to keep healthy conditions to the population, even in an emergency context.
Heads of CARICOM Social Security organizations are into day 2 of its 32nd meeting. Delegates from across the region are hoping to come with practical solutions to building a Social Security system. The meeting, hosted by the National Insurance Board, began yesterday and closes out Friday, November 1st. The Secretary General tells of the benefits those in attendance will gain.
In these kind of meetings, we learn from each other. We learn from our own experiences. We learn how are we solving our problems, which we have common problems, financial problems, operative problems, administrative problems, and we learn from each other. What are we doing to solve it?
Prime Minister, the Honourable Philip Davis, officially opening the Latin America and Caribbean Air Transport Association, or ALTA conference, taking place at Baha Mar this week. The event, which brings more than 400 aviation industry executives from Latin America and the Caribbean to our shores, is taking place as the country observes Aviation Week. Mr. Davis touching on how the Bahamas is doing its part to make the industry more sustainable, while also expanding its reach, efficiency, and overall safety protocols to improve the industry. He also calls for greater collaboration with regional partners.
Our airports are incorporating renewable energy sources, adopting sustainable practices, and aligning with international emissions targets. This commitment ensures that our aviation sector operates responsibly, preserving the Bahamas for future generations. Today, each of you bring invaluable knowledge and experience to help us build a stronger, more connected aviation network.
In other news this evening, the saga of Grand Bahama private caregiver Murphy Knowles and elder Ingrid Carey, and the drama that unfolded over allegations of exploitation, giving the Bahamas Alzheimer's Association another platform to speak on the risk factors of dementia, a cognitive loss Mrs. Carey reportedly suffers. The association's president, Wendy Poitier Albury, explaining during her appearance on The Rundown with Clint Watson last evening that some of these risks are associated with one's lifestyle, like smoking, alcohol, physical inactivity, hypertension, obesity, diabetes, or even environmental factors.
That is why it is important for governments, for public policy to be in place to deal with things like education, because they found that persons with lesser education, they have a higher risk of developing dementia and Alzheimer's. Air pollution. It's important to ensure that we have, it's important to ensure that you have, where they find persons who are exposed to air pollution, those things that are in the air, they too have a higher risk factor. And so these are things that governments can do. You don't have the control over those things, but the government, that is why it's important for government to ensure that they have in place plans to ensure that these things are not happening to their people. Individuals themselves, again, we talk about making a plan for you.
And as with any illness, Albury stresses that early diagnosis is key. While ancient artifacts of the indigenous Arawak Lucayans on display in the Senate today for students, visitors, and officials to view. Several officials bringing remarks in Rawson Square, which also included a live demonstration and performance from the Royal Bahamas Police Force Marching Band, Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marching Band, and Rangers. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis welcoming the return of the remains to its rightful place here in the Bahamas, while celebrating the Lucayans, who he says were victims of colonial interference.
For hundreds of years, thriving, celebrating, and burying their loved ones with reverence in the caves of these islands. Yet, they were also the first to suffer the devastation brought by colonial encounters. While DNA studies show no biological link between them and the present-day Bahamians, their spirit and influence echo through our culture, guiding us in ways that transcend more than lineage.
Now, the artifacts arrived here in the capital yesterday, among them different parts of human skeletal remains that are said to have been preserved for hundreds of years. People lined
This return was made possible through the 1990 Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act, a law that mandates in the United States institutions to return remains and sacred artifacts to their communities whenever and wherever possible. Thanks to the collaboration between Michigan State University's Arts and Collections Department and our own Antiquities, Monuments, and Museums Corporation, we mark a historic first for the Bahamas, the return of ancestral remains from an international institution.
Stay with us on The Beat is after the break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by folk called Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on my services. So I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. And the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
People are going crazy for Popeyes around the world. Some have camped out for hours just to try our delicious chicken. This guy stocked up on 300 crunchy, juicy chicken sandwiches, just in case. And these lovebirds celebrated their wedding with the Popeyes cake. For real. We get it, y'all chicken lovers. Because we're just as crazy to marinate our chicken for 12 hours and make every piece by hand. That crazy love, we love.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Over a decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long, yet the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
Our rich and vibrant cultural heritage, coupled with the infrastructural upgrades, necessary improvements to delivery of government service, and relatively safe communities make our family island ideal places to live, visit, and invest. Because together, we will achieve more. And together, we are stronger.
Register today at tclevents.com.
The economic potential of the soon-to-be-rolled-out medical cannabis industry, the focus of tonight's Business Beat. Here's Corville Pyfrom.
The global medical cannabis industry is believed to gross over $1 billion annually, and Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville says the soon-to-be enacted medical cannabis legislation passed earlier this year will mean Bahamians have a shot at getting in on the action. Talking to the Rotary Club of East Nassau's weekly lunch meeting recently, the minister said not only will the new law impact patients who use medical cannabis to treat their ailments and those who use it as a part of religious sacrament, but also aspiring entrepreneurs.
So the days will soon be gone where our 5,000 plus patients who are benefiting from medical cannabis can access it in the country and benefit from the therapeutic effects associated with cannabis.
There will also be big opportunities available in the byproducts from cannabis, from skin oils to beauty products, beverages to even cannabis dog treats. This will be a potentially lucrative market.
We want to create an industry. We just don't want to import products. We want to create an industry so Bahamians can participate in this industry both locally and to be able to export products to countries with similar legislative frameworks and benefit financially from the export.
Consultations, Dr. Darville says, will continue as the selection process to appoint an authority to oversee the industry winds down. No specific timeline has been given for when that process will be completed, but the minister says it is a stringent process.
The individuals whose names are being presented, they have to have a certain qualification, and the vetting process must be done.
On the Business Beat, I'm Corville Pyfrom.
Well, guess who's back? LaDawn and Marcellus joins us live with a sneak peek of Access Now.
Well, because when you said it, you said it. Look who decided to actually give us our time back from baseball and join us back in studio this evening. I know you're excited because I'm excited. You had a great time, didn't you? Or did you miss us?
I had a great time. I did miss you guys, though. I did miss you guys. Yeah. I heard a different type of voices from above. Now I can.
Stay with us. The National Report continues after this.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
SHSS Electrical has relocated. You can now find them on Chesapeake Road in the former Minute Muffler building. There, you can pick up Square D switches, combos, breakers, and breaker panels, plus all the electrical wires you need. Want meter cans, LED bulbs, and ceiling fans? You can find it all at SHSS Electrical.
Need a DNA test to find out if someone is your father, your child, or your grandparent? Call DNA Direct at 324-0665. Get a DNA test for as low as $450. Now you can prove that you are or are not related to an individual easily. Call DNA Direct 324-0665.
At Audio Plus, you can buy musical equipment like speakers, amps, and mixing boards, plus instruments like drums, horns, and keyboards. No other place in town gives you all the sound equipment you need to get you rocking. And with prices so affordable to all, you'll thank me. Audio Plus, Soldier Road, dial 394-6668.
Man, this ain't making no sense, man. How people making it out here, Dre?
If you want to stop living paycheck to paycheck, you gotta learn how to budget. First, write down all of your income. Then, list out all of your expenses. And don't forget to save. Stop throwing away money. Put something aside for savings. And get this, government savings bonds can safely grow your money. So start budgeting, save your coins, and invest smart. Financial independence, way. Wait, financial independence, way. Learn how to invest in government savings bonds on the Central Bank of the Bahamas website.
And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Good to grow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
Sovereignty discussions took center stage recently as Director of Agriculture Dion Gibson gave an engaging speech at a Rotary Hybrid Club meeting.
Food security, defined by the World Health Organization at the World Food Summit in 1996, said that when all people at all times have access to safe and nutritious food that support a healthy and active life, we have food security. Well, relatively speaking, the Bahamas and most other countries are actually food secure. Food sovereignty speaks to controlling your food, the sources of your food, and what you grow or what you allow into your country. We oftentimes are victim to dumping from larger countries, and so they would send, you may notice, items that are marked for export only. That quality is not the same as what they keep in country for their own population.
Gibson insists that country development relies ultimately on food sovereignty.
Samuel Johnson said, agriculture not only gives riches to a nation, but riches she can call her own. Why is that? The money stays in the country. We're not sending it out for food. We're not sending it out to another country when we purchase these things. So if we support our local farmers, local agriculture, we are then in turn building our country and adding to our GDP, adding to our economy, keeping those funds circulated right here at home.
That said, he encourages members to support local farmers.
So I'll ask each and every one of you, when last have you been to the farmers market on Gladstone Road? Or even the one that's held regularly at Dongalek Studios right down the road on Village Road? We can't say that we want to be a more food secure country or more food sovereignty when we ourselves are not doing our part. We can't expect a farmer to produce and not have customers, and we the consumers want more local, but we don't look for it.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
Well, it's National Public Service Week, and a career fair is top priority. Details straight ahead.
Plus, another queen heads off to an international competition. This time, it's Miss Bahamas Universe, and she's headed to Mexico.
Ever hear of the Puppy Bowl? Well, the Humane Society is about to school you. Stay close for that.
And coming up in sports, the Caribbean Baseball Cup held here in the capital is a wrap.
Tonight, Access Now starts now.
It Good evening, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall.
And I'm LaDawn Davis. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now.
What can I say? I'm back.
Yes, you are, and we missed you, Marcellus. It's so good to have you back in the seat.
It's good to be back. Glad to be here, and certainly glad to have you back as well. Let's get right into the news for us this evening, all right? So, a part of Public Service Week, a career fair was held offering students and job seekers a unique look at the opportunities available within the Bahamian public sector. Diane Dorset tells us more.
From health to finance to environmental sciences, every corner of the Bahamian government was represented. The career fair, held at the Kendall Geologics Gym, aimed to inspire young Bahamians to consider careers in public service and showcase the diverse roles that help keep the nation running. Ashni Cash from the Department of Lands and Surveys shared insight on her field.
The land and survey on a whole is mapping, surveying, research, crown land. It's more than you just come here and apply for crown land. We have field, we have land management.
The event also featured presentations and interactive workshops where students could gain hands-on experience and learn about the skills needed in various departments. Officer McPhee of the Royal Bahamas Police Force gave a taste of what it's like being an enforcer of the law.
Okay, so right here we have on display our speed guns, how we determine the speed persons are traversing the streets with, as well as the drone goggles. It shows or it simulates the various percentages of alcohol. So it gives you the same effect as if you're drinking and driving.
With a focus on shaping the future of the public sector, Communications Officer for the Department of Public Service, Kennedy Campbell-Moss, emphasized that events like this are essential for developing a new generation of committed Bahamian leaders.
This is National Public Service Week. We want elementary school children, we want children that are in the senior high school to come out and see what it is that we have to offer in terms of a career, whether it's the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, whether it's the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Ministry of Works, Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is where you can get your trajectory to figure out exactly what you need to have in terms of your qualifications to qualify for some of the jobs that are available in public service.
As Public Service Week continues, this career fair has already sparked inspiration among many young Bahamians. Organizers say they're optimistic that the event will encourage attendees to see the public service as not just a job, but as a meaningful way to give back to their country. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Diane Dorset.
A grand send-off for a pageant queen this morning at the local airport. 32-year-old's Pitta Palace journey has captured the hearts of Bahamians who anticipate her performance on the big stage. Danielle Dean has a story.
We're here at Lyndon Pindling International Airport, where friends and family rallied together to send Miss Bahamas Universe, Salvinique Wright, off to the international competition in Mexico.
I'm going to just showcase exactly what it is that the Bahamas has to offer within myself and just make sure that I represent this country to the best.
The beauty queen's May 12th crowning came after 4 attempts at the title. She admits the journey has been far from easy, but she kept going nonetheless and encourages Bahamian girls and women to do the same.
Keep at it. Don't, there's a saying that says, when you fall off of the bike, you get back on. I would tell that little girl, get back on. It's not always going to be easy. It's going to be, again, a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, tears. That's what I had to put into this. But if you remain steadfast, you're going to achieve your goals.
Youth, Sports and Culture Minister, the Honourable Mario Boleg, acknowledged the importance of beauty pageants to his ministry and the country in general, and maintains officials will be putting their best foot forward to better support all beauty queens moving forward.
I'm happy to be here to support Ms. Wright as she moved towards to represent the Bahamas on the world stage. I believe in her, and I've been getting a lot of calls and believe that she will do well and she will make us all proud.
For anyone wanting to watch Miss Bahamas Universe take the stage, pageant director Anthony Smith tells us how.
But the 16th. So it'll be seen on Telemundo and Roku TV along with some other broadcast network, and we'll be publishing it in local media, print, and also the social media forums.
Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Well, the Humane Society of the Bahamas hosted an exciting and heartwarming event this weekend, a puppy bowl aimed at promoting pet adoption over purchasing animals. A vibrant showcase of adorable puppies ready for loving homes.
Bahamas Humane Society is the adoption center for all animals. We have cats and we have dogs. We have over, close to 500 animals on premises right now. And most of them, some of them are rescues, some of them are neglect. Some people brought them in because of their landlords say they can't keep them.
Now, in addition to the adoption focus, the event featured expert talks from local dog food vendors. These professionals discussed the importance of high-quality nutrition for pets, highlighting how proper food contributes to long-term health and happiness. It not only helps growth and energy, but also plays a vital role in preventing health issues.
Dogs and cats both have a need for multiple vitamins and minerals every day to be healthy. And if you don't feed your dog a proper diet, then they're going to have health conditions. And it can be everything from musculoskeletal issues and other diseases like rickets and things that can be completely prevented if you're feeding them a complete and balanced pet food.
Food stop giving them bone and them rice would cause problems later on down, especially bone, because you know the bone wouldn't digest for like a couple days, and sometimes the bone clog up, like when they passing, sometimes it could switch and turn wrong, and then you wonder why your dog is straining, and when you go to the doctor after a certain time, you know, only so much a doctor can do, they can't work miracles.
With smiles, laughter, and plenty of puppy playtime, the Humane Society of the Bahamas Puppy Bowl proved to be more than just a fun event. It was a meaningful call to action for the community to choose adoption and care for animals in need. Well, coming up on Access Now, the star of Justice with Judge Carol herself. Stay close for it.
JBI. Thank you for providing quality products for the Bahamian table for over 30 years. I really love all your products, but my favorite is the kidney bean with coconut milk. I use this with my peas and rice. I use it in my vegetable soup. I use this in my pea soup and dumpling. I love it. It has a wonderful flavor. So, on your 30th anniversary, I just want to wish you all the best and make millions.
I absolutely love the products that you guys have. My favorite has to be the coconut water because it tastes just like coconut water at home.
Try JBI. Happy 30th anniversary, JBI.
Keep doing what you're doing, and I hope you have another 30 years.
Thank you, Bahamas.
Your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Hey Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the Sunshine Room.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
And you're looking at a live shot of the East Bay Street and Shirley Street area right here in New Providence. Drone shot, of course, by Destiny Reed. Nice shot there, Des. Let's head on over to the Family Islands now to see what's happening there.
Family Island News is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Not leaving the Family Islands out, Kenya Lang, Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Public Service and Chair of the Ministry's Public Service Week, has announced that Public Service Week will be recognized on Family Islands from Monday, November 4th to Sunday, November 10th. Public Service Week is currently being recognized here in the capital with activities comprising of a church service, health screenings, the announcement of Public Service Officer of the Year, a fun run and walk, recognition of retirees, and a Careers Day fair. It's so great to recognize our public servants. Let's turn things over to Marcellus and Judge Carroll. Marcellus?
All right, thanks so much, LaDawn. Well, this evening we welcome Judge Carroll. Carol Monies, a world-class attorney, former judge, and current boss of Justice with Judge Carroll. It's a ZNS primetime favorite. Judge Carroll, welcome to Access Now. Happy to have you here with us.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
It's a pleasure to have you, as always. I tell you what, though, what is power of attorney? That's one of the questions everybody always wants to answer.
Right. So a power of attorney is a legal document that allows one person, you as the donor, to give authority to another person to execute documents basically on your behalf.
Now, once you say that, does the person have to be a relative? How is that actually decided? How do they choose the person?
So there are certain formalities for creating a power of attorney. The first thing is that the person who is giving the power to another person, they have to be mentally competent. The document has to be in writing. But then you can give it to anyone that you want to give it to once you've complied with the formalities.
Are there different types in terms of power of attorney? Are there different types of that?
Well, there are actually two types of power of attorney. There's a regular power of attorney, and there is what is called an enduring power of attorney. So in both instances, the person who is giving the power, who is called the donor, they have to be mentally competent at the time that the power of attorney is executed. Now, an important thing to note with powers of attorney, whether it's a regular or an enduring, as I said, the person has to be mentally competent at the time that they're signing. However, the distinction is with an enduring power of attorney, it kicks in once the person who is giving it loses their mental capacity.
Wow, well, we're seeing something similar to that in the news these days, but if a family member finds that the title holder is, let's say they're abusing their power, his or her power, what then is the course of action that can be taken?
Right, so in that instance, the law provides that a person who has a power of attorney must act in good faith. And if you are found as the donee of the power not to have acted in good faith, you can be liable. So there are checks and balances that are built in the Power of Attorney Act that allows persons, family members, or others who are concerned that the power has been abused to take action. And it's not sufficient to say that, well, oh, I thought that I was doing what they wanted me to do, because it's an objective test, which means that you have to prove in all of the circumstances that this person was actually mentally competent when they gave you the power, and that you were acting within the provisions of what the power of attorney provided.
Wow, that's some really good information. Thank you so much, Judge Carroll, for joining us here on Access tonight, and we do appreciate you taking time. We'll see you on the court next week, right?
Absolutely. Yes, in the courtroom.
Yeah, in the courtroom. There you go. Yes, yes, yeah. Looking forward to seeing you there. Meanwhile, we do have sports coming up behind this, and I tell you what, coming up in sports for this evening, we'll take a look at what's going on, or rather what went on in the Caribbean Baseball Cup. Details just ahead.
Are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Raking Straight Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Avi, Mama D, Fan Sean, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Races Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack locations. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Sky Pods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd looking at best of the best. Rake and scrape explosion reloaded.
Rescue me. You will the difference. Ruby's Ultra Tech in your car. Fill up with Ruby's Ultra Tech. Spend less and go far. Fuel up with Ruby's Ultra Tech. Get the most out every ride. Just watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel up with confidence in every mile. Get Ruby's Ultra Tech in your tank and drive with a smile. Watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel the difference with Ruby's Ultra Tech.
What are we gonna do? We forgot your daddy's birthday. He's in Eleuthera and we're all the way in Nassau. You got it? Okay. Yes, you're right.
Eleuthera for tomorrow? No problem.
The Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting is partnering with the Bahamas Christian Council to help build stronger Bahamian families.
I believe that our ultimate experience in living begins with God and family.
Our purpose is to facilitate, guide, inspire, and equip you to have a better life.
And a strong family foundation begins with each of us trying to become better individuals.
Let's unite for a stronger Bahamas.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the heartbeat of the nation, leading Bahamians from dependency to self-sufficiency to economic empowerment.
Well, welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. 6th Caribbean Baseball Cup now in the books, following yesterday's championship games at the Andre Rogers Baseball Diamond. Now, in the initial game, that was for the bronze medal. Don't look now at St. Martin playing very well against Cuba. Unfortunately for them, came up just a bit short with the Cubans going ahead to win 2-1. As far as the gold medal game is concerned, Curacao against a surprising U.S. Virgin Island team. This one going right down to the wire. In fact, they went to extra innings before it would be Curacao going on to get the 2-1 victory. Their celebration time for the boys from Curacao, and a job well done. Now, looking ahead to what's going on, the Bahamas, as you noticed, did not play in any of the medal games. In fact, only coming up with one win throughout the course of the tournament. The Secretary General of the Bahamas Baseball Association, Ted L. Sweeting, says the work has already begun to put the Bahamas in contention for 2025.
We will be there with our government to making sure that we have the Andre Rogers National Baseball Stadium certified for the next event so that we can have the players that you know who play professional baseball. They're released and can play and represent this country at the highest level of baseball so that we can put the proper representation out there for each event.
And that's it. Your check on sports for you here on this Tuesday. Of course, we do have weather just ahead. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales at CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store. Not only do we guarantee the best prices on all your favorite building materials, but we're proud to offer the best delivery program in all of Nassau. Whether you buy one box of screws or a truckload of plywood, island-wide delivery is just $5. And for our Family Island customers, we're proud to offer complimentary drop-off to the mailboat of your choice. Visit us today at the CBS Pro Store on Robinson Road and check out our website to set up your next delivery.
I've been a J.S. Johnson customer for over 15 years. This was the first and only insurance company I've ever been with since I was a teen. And the reason I stayed is because they treat everyone like family, like literally. They greet you from the door, walk you inside. You can have a nice little conversation. They treat you like family. I love it. I would definitely recommend J.S. Johnson to anybody. J.S. Johnson, That's where it's at.
Cash Primary School, Boys Club of Excellence program
is a very beneficial program to the boys because when they are here, I have seen some of our most troubled boys turn around.
We selected a school where you can make an impact from an elementary stage. The program is really to give the young men an outlet to do something different.
There are more times that every child is not academic, they're also technical. And this is one of the clubs that helps to push that because education is very important and we need to bring more people in to encourage our children.
We want to show them that this is a life that they can live. They're exposed to men in the community that are all about making young men better. Crime-free.
Looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
I don't know, but there's all kind of cars in the parking lot. You ain't even know where to park. Again, just don't park in the... Look at this way. Like, you ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park him. Just don't park on the gas. Here, this on the gas. No, man, you can't park on the gas. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. On the gas spot, man. Boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way parking, man. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bar big bro, and he got a sticker inside that say this mod though. We gotta move. This is honey gas. Let's go, we gotta move. But we gotta move. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
It's time now for your Access weather forecast and our live weather radar showing a line of showers moving across Andros and just to the south of the capital. There's another secondary batch just on the north central coast of Cuba. That's also moving towards the northeast towards Long Island and the remainder of the central Bahamas, which could generate some showers there later on tonight. And in the tropics, the Hurricane Center continued to give this area here in the Caribbean Sea a 40% chance of developing. And as we've been saying all week long, this area could impact the weather in the Bahamas over the next several days, so we'll keep our eyes very closely on that system. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Live Business, where you're always protected during the worst storms. In the northwestern islands tonight, right through Thursday, easterly winds 15 to 25 knots, wave heights 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. Advisory in place for your boaters in the northwestern parts of our country. Low tide, that will take place at 56 minutes past midnight. High tide, that will occur at 7:09 tomorrow morning. And for the central and southeastern islands, also through Thursday, easterly flow once again with very strong winds, 20 to 30 knots, wave heights, very rough, 8 to 12 feet over the ocean. So we're asking small craft to stay in port in the central and southeastern parts of the Bahamas. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
This jamming once again. 4, 3, 2, 1. This party again done at the center. What? The center. The center. The center. 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 What? The center. The center. The center. 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 Oh, come on. Yes, man. Let's go.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. And right now, back to Marcellus at Ladon.
All right, thanks so much, Basil. Lots of wind outside and getting a little bit cooler for you, Ladon.
And I've noticed, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. I hope it stays that way, Marcellus. But we're going to now throw things over to Matea Cunningham with Let's Talk Socials.
Social media lights, what's up? This is Let's Talk Socials, where we dive into what's trending on the web. Today, we're spotlighting the hilarious Bahamian comedians Dizzy, Izzy, and Ashy. Known for their funny skits, this dynamic duo recently went viral with their latest video, Americans versus Bahamian Workers. The skit took off, racking up 14,000 likes and 106,000 views on TikTok. Not only did Bahamians find it hilarious, but Caribbeans and Americans got in on the laughs too. Check it out for yourselves and get ready to laugh.
Say a lemon tea, right, sir?
Yeah, make it snappy still. I gotta go.
Where you going in?
Respect, blood.
Sir.
There I go. What, you trying to give me diabetes, boy?
Sorry, sir.
How much sugar you put in this, bro?
Make it, sir. Sorry about that. I say lemon do it.
Yeah, but tired, mate. That snappy still I gotta go. What you mean? You going crazy? Tired, mate. My flipping tea, yeah?
What you want me trying to say in your face, hey, blood?
Yay.
I look like you're all going crazy, boy.
Man, boss, just hand my tea, man.
Man, what, boy? What, niggas? Why what you dealing with?
Boy, just hand my tea, boy.
What you dealing with for real?
But hey, before you take this too seriously, just remember it's all in good fun. It's heartwarming to see Bahamians showcasing our unique sense of humor on a larger stage. We can't wait to see what these two come up with next. I'm Matea, and this has been Let's Talk Socials. See you next time.
All right, good job as usual, Mateo. Well, we're all out of time, Madonna.
Yes, we are, Marcellus. And again, it's so great to have you back in the saddle.
It is indeed good to be back. And I tell you what, that's going to be a wrap for us. But stay tuned for the rundown. Clint Watson is up next. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
We're just gonna add some spinach in there. Gonna bring out all that flavor.
From quick and easy meals on the go to savory and delicious down-home delights, dishing it up is what we do.
I'm Chef Manny. I'll be the new host of Dishing It Up Season 2, and I'm inviting you to my kitchen here at Manuelo's.
And together, we're cooking up a new season of delicious Bahamian dishes. Welcome back to Dishing It Up.
Clint Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
We seem to remember our athletes when they make us proud at the finish line. Throw a junkanoo parade when they return home, toss them a few dollars, and then forget about them until the next Members of the prestigious Fourth Estate should never sell themselves to any politician. Instead, keep their hands and noses clean in order to publish or broadcast the unadulterated truth. Well, that's how I see it anyway.
Read as I see it, exclusively at ZNSBahamas.com. New articles premiere on Mondays at 9 a.m.
With our adoption by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
We figured that we could use the First Bahamas branch of Toastmasters Club 1600, an all-male club that specializes and focuses on developing young men for leadership through communication.
This program has grown and has impacted our school in such a positive way that I don't think we'll ever have them leave us.
Too often, instead of us looking within, we look outside for someone to blame. Go take a look in the mirror. Instead of trying to identify what the problems are, let's try and figure out how we become a part of the solution.
We are teaching these children how to dream beyond their community.
Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
At Centerville, I'm LaDawn Davis. This is ZNS.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. It's great to have you with us. At the start, our Northern Service news team is reporting that proprietor of Home Away from Home, Grand Baha Mar native Mervyn Knowles, is in police custody tonight. That confirmation coming from officer in charge of the police force's Northern Division, Assistant Police Commissioner Shanta Knowles. Now, what we can tell you tonight, I'll tell you this much. This plot is obviously developing. It's an ongoing saga, as you know, with the Grand Baha Mar private caretaker. And we can tell you that she was brought into custody around 10 this morning. And of course, they're not sharing anything particular other than to say that the arrest is in relation to one complaint, adding that there were no other complaints filed against the Home Away from Home administrator. And of course, we're being told that it is in relation to fraud charges. Now, late this evening, before coming on air, I was able to confirm with family members that she remains in custody with police tonight. So this is an ongoing story that we're going to follow with you. As you can imagine, family members are a bit distressed as they try to figure out what's going on and what this matter is about. So we're going to stay on that for you, and hopefully by tomorrow we'll be able to update you and let you know exactly the latest regarding that questioning. We can call it an arrest because she's in custody and she remains there tonight. Well, another important thing I want to tell you, you know already there are over 100 murders on record for the year in the Bahamas. One was recorded earlier this afternoon, 3 in Fox Hill area yesterday. Now, we know, yes, as we said, it's startling statistics because they're now in the triple-digit numbers when we talk about murders being committed. And like I just said, one late this evening. And government, of course, and the Royal Bahamas Police Force want you to know they're on top of it, then it's not out of control in their hands. They believe they understand some emerging trends that are happening, and they're monitoring these trends. Now, it's important to clarify tonight that we already know, we say this all the time, government can't do this by themselves. They need the public, they need people to support them in their efforts to be able to address crime head on in this country. They need the public to give them information. They need family members to be forthcoming with information and to talk to relatives who they know may be troubled with criminal activity. Tonight, we're going to get some reaction. We spoke earlier today to the Prime Minister, also to the Minister of National Security, to the Commissioner of Police on this escalating situation. We'll hear from them tonight. The National Security Minister, he did not mince words. I'll tell you that right off the top. He made it clear that one murder is too much. Also in this show tonight, the financial saga plaguing former workers of City Markets Limited. Remember City Markets? Well, guess what? They may be closed down out of business, but those employees still have not received the settlement that was due to them. Could you imagine after all these years? So we're going to talk to them tonight about what's their next course of action will be. And then we'll end on a lighter note. It's a big weekend, and some exciting things are happening this weekend. And we've got 2 of your favorite artists who are going to be here tonight, and they're going to talk about that big event. Maybe we'll get them to sing a tune or 2. All of that is going to happen when the rundown comes right back. Stay with us, everyone.
We've come to appreciate the JBI product. Simply doesn't matter where they're staged or where they're located. We always realize that JBI has the best pricing and the best quality of food. In particular, my favorite is corned beef. I was a hometown boy. So if I can purchase anything, it can be this JBI corned beef straight through.
As you get a bit older, you become more discriminating and what you put in your bodies. And all of this is natural stuff. So I am happy to promote the junkanoo punch.
I actually compared it to a couple of brands, and this is the one of choice. This one, this the can't fail brand. So.
Fried JBI.
Happy 30th anniversary, JBI.
Happy 30th anniversary to JBI.
Thank you, Bahamas.
Battling for Bay is a joke compared to battling colon cancer.
You want to protect your quarterback? You need to protect your body.
The same way we declare that we will be victorious on Bay Street, it's the same way you will declare that you'll be victorious over colon cancer.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer affecting Bahamians. Both men and women are affected equally. Fortunately, colon cancer can be prevented by scheduling routine visits with your doctor, by being aware of the symptoms, and by having some form of colon cancer screening when appropriate. If you're over the age of 45, talk to your doctor about having a colonoscopy today so that you can avoid a conversation about colon cancer tomorrow.
Welcome back. An active investigation continues into that triple shooting in the Fox Hill community yesterday. Now, police confirmed on the scene that 3 men shot and killed. Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernanda confirmed that 3 masked men exited a dark-colored Japanese vehicle, opening fire on a group of men who were in an outside garage. Now, according to police, turns out the masked men missed their intended target, who has been identified as a young man on bail for murder. The young man is in police custody, assisting detectives with this investigation. Now, Police Commissioner Clayton Fernanda was on the scene and expressed his concern about the high murder rate and some of the trends his officers have recognized. Take a listen.
Based on our intel as well, and I intend to address this, that if we don't pay attention to a number of individuals who are on bail for murder, we have 178 young men on bail who are being monitored for murder, and some other individuals who are not being monitored. So you could imagine the retaliation in there. And if we don't address that to get some of those individuals behind bars for their safety, some other people will die. And we don't want no innocent persons to get caught up in that. And we say again to members of the public, please be aware of your surroundings. Be careful who you hang out with, because you become a target if you continue to be or support these individuals who continue to be in the life of crime. We again plead to members of the public, work along with your police. If you see something, please say something. Don't wait until it reaches to your doorstep. I also want to send a warning out to property owners who are using their homes for Airbnb. And we believe, and you will see in recent times, we send a number of wanted posters out. Individuals we are looking to question on a number of reason matters. We know where they live. We have already checked on numerous occasions, so they are not staying at home. We know they are still here in this country, so they are either shacking up with somebody or they are out. Our intel that they are renting these places. So owners of these properties, be careful. They will not come. They may send somebody else to rent it. But you have to pay attention to that, because you will find individuals hiding out in these areas. And when they want to come out, they come out and commit their crime and go back. And we believe there are plenty gated communities here. So we want members of the public to please help us in this regard. Please help the police. All hands have to be on deck. 178 individuals on bail for murder. This is where the retaliation continue to happen. This is where this retaliation continue to happen. I feel that they should have their day in court and move swiftly. No bail. Move swiftly. You could imagine 178 individuals behind bars. That reduce the fear of crime And you will see crime continue to trend down. But it have to happen. The punishment have to fit the crime with respect to guns that are on our streets. The penalty have to fit the crime. And high-powered weapons, as I continue to say, are being used in the commission of these crimes. All hands have to be on deck in order to win this or slow this crime situation down. If we don't, as I indicated earlier, some other people will die. But your Royal Bahamas Police Force will continue to stand firm to ensure that our Bahamian people and visitors who come to our shore are safe.
Are y'all hearing this? I'm hoping it's not only me. Are you hearing what the Commissioner of Police is saying? That's a loaded statement. And if you notice, we put the shot back up again, you see he's surrounded by the top brass. They're all out there on this crime scene, and look at their faces, right? You can see by their faces, there is a certain degree of concern with what is going on. That is a very passionate plea by the Commissioner of Police, and I'm not sure I've heard Clayton Fernandez talk with such passion in a long time. When you hear the statement, we need all hands on deck, and that follows him talking about the fact that we have over 100+ people on bail for murder, it tells you that there is a systemic problem. There's a systemic problem. He is saying that the system is failing us because they are doing the detective work. They are bringing the people they believe are the culprits before the courts. And because of whatever legalities that are taking place, these men aren't ending up behind bars. They're ending up on the streets awaiting trial. That tells me that we have a systemic problem with our system of law enforcement, because we talk about the judiciary as well. And I think when you talk about we need all hands on deck, there needs to be better collaboration between the police, the AG's office, the judicial system. Something's going wrong. The Commissioner of Police is crying out for everybody to put their hands on deck. And I believe the public is willing to assist where they possibly can. And when they won't assist, they will tell you it's because they fear that the system is not protecting their confidentiality and information. So that's why they don't come forward and they don't talk, because you can't talk nowadays because you don't know who you're talking to in the police force, whether they're going to be the ones to go tell the criminals you came in and report them. Because the lack of integrity sometimes with people in these institutions is what's killing these institutions. So when we talk about crime in our country and the fact that people are definitely fed up with it, we have to also look back at, are we making our institutions airtight? That when people come in with information, they don't have to fear that somebody in that institution is going to go out there and report that they came in and gave information. That's just one. And when people feel safe and secure about going to the police force without there being leaks in the police force, then they'll perhaps come forward. But the challenge is, no matter how much you talk about the integrity and the goodness of an institution, if we are seeing time immemorial again that people who snitch get stitched, they ain't coming forward to talk. That's the reality. We've got to see the proof that people's testimonies and witnesses and information is going to be airtight before they come in and help. And then I agree with the Commissioner. I agree wholeheartedly. The system has to get on the page with what we are facing in our country. That means quick court cases. People are charged and they go before the courts. Let's try them. Because when you wait for a case 2 years later, the witnesses no longer want to talk about it. The witnesses can't remember the evidence. And these wonderful, crafted, experienced attorneys, they will get off on semantics because you can't remember. So we need to have quick trials. We need to have strong defenses, airtight police work, and then we don't have to worry about people out in the street taking justice into their own hands. It is a serious accusation when we are saying that what we are seeing in this country, when it comes to murders, are people going after people because they're out. That is a serious thing. Because while, yes, you may say it's not the innocent being killed, we can't always be sure of that. We can't always be sure that, as, like we heard in this story, you heard what I read at the beginning of this story, the intended target was missed. So what does that mean? If you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you can become a target. That concerns me, that what we see going on around our streets is retaliation, is gang wars, turf wars. That's a problem. The only way we can solve that, I agree, is people got to be kept behind bars. Otherwise, if they're out there, it's a game going on from community to community, gangs to gangs. It's a game going on over who can get who before they go to court. We've got to fix that. That's street smarts. You don't need a special program for that. You need street smarts, and you need everybody on the same page in every institution in this country that has to do with crime and justice. We've got to get on the same page and make some decisions. Well, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, also very concerned about the spate of homicides under investigation by police. In fact, he's restating the need for a reset in the way young people think and react. Take a listen.
These are retaliatory killings, and whenever it's retaliatory, it's very challenging to prevent. Saturation patrol is out there. A number of these areas and persons are being disrupted, but yet still they find a way to exact what they want to, and it's very troubling. And the time has come for us to find ways and means of resetting the minds of our young people. And that has been a challenge, and we continue to fight. We are clear, our clear hole has started. We're now in Engliston, in those areas, and we'll be moving into other areas very shortly. But again, we're doing our best, and it's just that there's some things very difficult to prevent. That's an overwhelming statistics. There are 170 persons out on bail for murder, and that's only what is happening. That's already in the system, and every so often more are added to that number, and the system could only accommodate so many. These trials are taking more than 2 and 3 months. So if you have 170 trials that's outstanding, what does that mean? How many months? That's almost 10 years to clean it up. So we are looking at initiatives to try to respond to the fact that trials are not happening quick enough, and the courts are overwhelmed. We've added more judges to the system. We have removed the necessity for jury trials. So we have done some things to try to rein in the time and period. But again, change takes time to take root. And though those changes are in place, it's taking a bit of time to take root. But we think at the end of the day, we will beat this scourge.
Did you hear? Did you hear the Prime Minister? Did you hear what he chose to focus on when he talked about the issue of facing with crime? He talked about, we're trying to get more judges. We're trying to get faster trials, trying to do trials without jurors, because that's a problem as well, getting people to sit near these cases. He's pinpointing to you what he believes one of the biggest issues are. I didn't say it. The nation's leader said it. He's focused on the courts. He focused on the judiciary. He wasn't led there. He chose to go there. That should tell you where we believe there may be some challenges and deficiencies. He started out his comments by saying he was shocked himself, the Prime Minister, that so many people were on bail for murder. Over 170 plus people on bail for murder. Well, my God, what in the world is this? In the Bahamas? In this little capital? No problem, because most of them are here. 170 plus people walking around you every day who out on bail for killing somebody. Let's just pause for a second. I want to sink in. Because we can become reactive as a country for so many other things. We saw it last week. Outraged. But we're talking about our country, our future, our safety, our security. People walking around out on bail for murder. We got people locked up for petty drug possession. People locked up for theft. People locked up for fraud. People locked up for other white-collar crimes. But the murderers, they get to wear ankle bracelet and walk around. Just walk around. Just attend functions, walk around. Something is wrong with the system. The system. It's the system. It's the system that's failing us. Gotta fix it. You heard him talk about what they're doing. More judges, more trials, trying to get them there faster because it's a backlog. We got so much crime that has to be adjudicated. We don't have enough time to get it done. I think they just need to have a crime weekend and have cases around the clock 24/7 for 4 days. Get rid of it. Because most of them probably get thrown out because the evidence is so gone, witnesses are gone. But we cannot have cases not coming to court and people out on bail taking justice into their own hands. National Security Minister Wayne Munro also weighing in on the rise of murders, particularly here in the capital. And matter of fact, when he was asked if the man taken into custody moments after the Fox Hill triple shooting yesterday will remain there, Minister Munro confirmed unless an application, I read again, unless an application is made to revoke his bail or the man surrenders his bail, there is no basis to keep him in police hands. Basically, Minister Munro feels one murder is too much. Take a listen.
One is too much. There's no acceptable number of murders. And it's as simple as that. It's a record of the number of times a Bahamian generally has been unkind and inhuman to another Bahamian. Every murder is that. A Bahamian born and bred here, generally, from birth to about 18 to 25, deciding that he is going to take a life. And we gave birth to that person as a country. We presided over their upbringing to that point. The first time you raise a young man who's comfortable killing somebody and you have no concern about it, you're going to raise more and more and more. People need to focus. These are your children. You know where they keep the guns. You know what they're doing. If you are not participating and making reports to the police, you're part of the problem. And under the new Anti-Gang Act, if you know what is happening and you're facilitating it, you are committing an offense too. We have to be concerned about increasing the efficiency of the courts trying these persons charged with murder. And so that also is a system issue that has to be addressed. But the office of the DPP in the case, they object on that basis. and then they seek to appeal. But if you don't try the person in a reasonable time, then this is going to happen. So people have to appear for jury duty, don't duck jury service, and then when you have to give evidence, show up and participate with the process.
So there you have it. He called the same word I've been saying all night, systemic problem. He knows he's in the system. He's been in the system even before government. He understands how the system works. It's a systemic problem that needs a solution. And yes, while all of us here as citizens can contribute and do our part and to make sure that we are there where we have evidence to give it, where we have information to give it. At the end of the day, the system must not fail us. It must work. It must work. I agree with him 100%. We're the first ones to complain about crime. What the government doing about crime? What are you doing about crime? What are you doing about it? So we like to put, oh, the church needs to, okay, you like, okay, well, last you been in church. Oh, you know, oh, child, these churches so corrupt. Okay, so what you're doing to make it not corrupt? We love as a people to point fingers. You know what we don't like to do? We do this, but we never do this. We never want to take responsibility for what we have breathed in this country. We complain about everything that's broken. We complain about everything we want to see fixed. We put blame on everyone we believe should be responsible for it. But we never say, oh, you know, mama should have stopped taking that money when she know that man don't work. And her good grandson, she keeps saying, my grandson buy my Mother's Day hat. He buy my Mother's Day dress. He buy my Mother's Day glove. Oh, I have a good grandson. He buy all my outfit for Mother's Day. But you know, your grandson don't work. Where he buy it from? Because he just run around the corner and he hold up that little mom and pop shop and take away the little cash flow they had for the week, $300, and he went and he bought you your Mother's Day stuff. Because you say, son, now you know you got to take care of mama for Mother's Day. So the pressure is on him that he can't disappoint mama. And you ain't ask him, well, son, thank you for all this good, but where you get it from? No, you ain't ask. But when he gets arrested, and you run around the corner, because they say, oh, mama, they got your grandson, they're holding him. And you go around and you say, not my grandson. Well, he been doing that for how much Mother's Day? 5 previous consecutive Mother's Days, he been holding up that same shop. And now he get catch, and you saying they got the wrong guy, not your good grandson. No, you know what the prime time is. You know when he come home and you see him put something under the bed, you have an idea what it probably was. Especially if you heard shots in the area. And he come run home, come to the house, put something under the bed. You ain't want to look under the bed because you're afraid of what you're going to see. But you keep doing it for months. You're cloaking him. You're cloaking him. Why? Because you're benefiting from it. Yeah, I know things tough, mama. Yeah, I know it hard. But settling for having some little easy gains, it's not going to make your community any better. Because you're going to have the same money he bringing and you saving up, you're going to have to use to bury him. When will we get it, society? We love pointing the fingers, but we don't introspect and self-reflect on how we're contributing to these people that we are raising and cloaking, who go from one crime to the next until it's murder. We see them hanging out with the wrong people, but we say nothing. We come home and say, oh, he's right there hanging out with his friends. You cook and feed all of them out there, and you hear what the conversations are about, and you do nothing. So what you hear these officials are really saying to us is, if we want to see change, if we want to experience change, we've got to be the change. We're coming back. When we come back, we're going to talk about the financial saga plaguing former city market workers. How do people who own this company? Anyway, we're back after this.
Is the Little Caesars
stuffed crust pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
This Wednesday, tune into the ZNS Network for Darrell Miller Day as we celebrate his life and legacy. At 9, it's Legends, followed by a special edition of Immediate Response at 10 a.m. Later, excerpts from Darrell Miller programs, including Legends and Darrell Miller Live. At 3 p.m., tune into a live memorial service in tribute to the late broadcaster on ZNS radio and television. At 8 p.m., it's Darrell Miller, Final Farewell, a live 1-hour special. Join us for Darrell Miller Day, Wednesday, October 30th, beginning at 9 a.m. on the ZNS Network.
That's the bearer of Baha Mar. I like to go down. Oh yeah.
Welcome back to the rundown, and of course, a good special good night to all of you who are either watching on YouTube or you are here in the Lion's Den. I see your comments and so forth, and we're going to go on to our next topic right now. But just a reminder, I am not naive and I'm not crazy. You can't put comments online to try and get popularity thinking I'm going to call your name on this show or go head-to-head with you. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. We are talking seriously today about change that's needed in our country that we all as Bahamians have to uplift. I'm not going to tolerate trolls who come on here for their own individual agendas and try to bait me to respond. I don't have time for games. We have a country to save, and we have a country to win. And first of all, the first way we do it is when we come together. I'm not going to create division and respond and get out of character. That's absolute nonsense. You came to the wrong site. I'm not gonna do that tonight. I'm glad the Lion's Den people aren't even wasting their time responding to that individual, because that's a waste of time. It's an absolute waste of time. And this is what we talk about in our country. Let me tell you right now. When we talk about criminals in our country, when we talk about people who create the issues in our country, it's not just the people on the streets, you know. We got some folk who because of the invention of social media and platforms, they don't know how to be responsible in how they use it to help build a country. They prefer to use it to divide a country. And to me, that's no different than taking a gun and shooting somebody. We believe typing behind hidden apparatuses and attacking people and trying to create dissension. That's the same thing as creating crime in our country, because it's trying to pull down and it's trying to divide our country. And whenever you see people on platforms trying to do that, trying to distract, to create unnecessary foolishness, we ought to denounce it. Because that's just how a lot of these things begin to breathe and take root. Because we're not responsible in what we do. We're not responsible in what we say. Everything is for our own mileage or political gain. We gotta put it aside. We have a country that we want to build for our children and our future generation. I don't have time for the idle talks. I don't have time for the foolishness. We have too many real issues in our country that need to be addressed, that are going to be addressed, hopefully. and that when we come together, we can address some of them ourselves. Could you imagine, in this Bahamas that we live in, if we learn to come together as a society, we don't need agencies, we don't need institutions, we don't need governments to fix anything for us. We, the people, can fix it for ourselves. But we got to be serious about coming together and working to better our country, not creating divides. So stop that nonsense. We ain't have time for that today. So, former City Market owned by Bahamas Supermarkets on Winn-Dixie on East-West Highway closed in 2012. There's been a bone of contention with its former employees. The company was sold in 2006, get this now, under bankruptcy in the United States. These employees, Bahamians, have yet to receive their severance packages and are now in court battling their pension. Right? Two of those employees, Wanselaw Turnquest and Sherry Nen, are joining us with an update to their story. Good evening, both of you, and welcome to The Rundown.
Good evening, sir.
Good night, Clint.
It is hard to believe that a company who Bahamians supported day after day, week after week, a company that helped to feed families and provide jobs, though was not able to continue for whatever reason and wrapped up its affairs, but based on what you're saying, left its employees in the balance, hoping. Why, from then till now, have employees not been able to get what's due to them?
Clint, this is a very, very serious matter. We were before the Ministry of Labor in 2012, dealing with the legal aspects of the severance matter, as well as the pension matter. First and foremost, the severance. The severance matter was supposed to have been paid under the labor laws of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. A Bahamian worker is classified as primary debtor. Primary debtor under the labor laws of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The Bahamas Supermarket Limited, Winn-Dixie. Bahamas Supermarket Limited originally consisted of 9 stores in Nassau, 3 stores in Freeport, which was wholly owned subsidiary of Winn-Dixie International Incorporated, Jacksonville, Florida. There was a bankruptcy proceedings in 2006, 2005, 2006, where the company sold their Bahamian interests to liquidate their financial obligations to the financial banks in New York or wherever it was at the time. They sold the Bahamas entity in order to facilitate a loan through the Bank of Wachovia to come out of a reconstruction to facilitate their growth and survival and development. The Bahamas Supermarket Limited entity was sold. The employees in the United States, some 93,000 employees, were paid. The pensioners, over $100 million, was paid to the U.S. workers. The Bahamas came under a constructual arrangement where a Bahamian entity took control, purportedly, of the Bahamian entity, and there was a 2-year transition from 2006 to 2008 for a smooth transition and all contingencies inclusive of the operation of the company and the security and protection of each employee and shareholders alike. Between 2008 and 2006, the gross revenue of Bahamas Supermarket Limited annually was about $153 million annually, gross revenue. In 2012, the Bahamas Supermarket Limited suspended operation. Suspended its operation and left the employees in a balance. Now follow me now. In 2006, they received no severance. In 2012, they received no severance. And now this 2024, and they still haven't received any severance. The pension matter is still under adjudication in the Supreme Court pertaining to the entire overall structure of the monies owing to all of the pensioners. When the company closed in 2012, it had on its register 356 official employees registered with the company. When the company sold under the bankruptcy proceedings in 2006, there were 800 employees, roughly between 700 and 800 employees. We are now in November 2024.
Wow.
About to go into 2025. This year alone, we have over 20 persons who have died.
Persons who waiting to be settled.
Waiting to be settled.
They've died.
They've died this year alone. Since the company closed in 2012, we have between 70 and 90 employees that have already died without receiving their legal financial entitlement that is owed to them, and left children, wives and spouses to be taken care of. That's unconscionable. Then on top of that, we have employees now who are sick, legally blind, paralyzed, cancer, on dialysis, and they cannot get monies that is legally owed to them.
You even mentioned Ms. Nairn being evicted.
Yes, I've heard of someone just today spoke of themselves, the bank foreclosing on their property, and they will be evicted, and they probably don't even have nowhere to stay.
How long were you an employee at City Market?
For 20 yes.
20 years you're an employee there.
Yes.
What did you do there?
I was a deli manager.
Deli manager.
Yes.
How do you feel? How has this impacted your life?
Well, it has impacted my life in a great way because when I was working at City Market and working around the people there at City Market, there's a lot of people you come to meet, you come to know. And when you hear some of the stories that they tell you about the situation they're in, they're homeless, they're not working, they just need help. They need help financially, and City Market has owed them a lot of money and they can't get it.
Are most of the employees still working? Were they able to get in jobs elsewhere?
A few were able to.
They would get jobs.
But they said who are sick, they are unable to work. I said who have different diseases and different problems.
They can't work.
Can't work. Like a particular person I've heard of, his both knees are broken, and he was unable to work. He's unable to work, and he's getting evicted from his home. That's the person I was talking about earlier. He's getting evicted from his place.
Why has this been so long to be resolved? What is causing this not to? Because I'm thinking it's a clear-cut case.
It's illegal.
You go up, company goes up, it's sold. You have to take care of the employees.
It's a legal problem. The problem, basically, is 3 to 4-fold. The company, Baha Mar Supermarket Limited, operated in the shadows. When I say in the shadows, in 2006, if you go through the court files in New York City, the original company that bought the company was supposed to have been BK Foods. The 2008 documents will show that another entity, RTU, a consolidated stock, purchased the company. It was managed by another company called Barbados Trading and Shipping Company, which transfers its interest to another company called Trans Island Traders. Now this is where it gets interesting. The articles and memorandums of association, I want everybody to listen to me very carefully. This prima facie evidence and a prima facie matter. Prima facie. The Articles of Association of Baha Mar Supermarket Limited states, let me break it down here to get a better understanding. This is Bahamas ZNS Broadcasting, a public trading entity. Has rules and regulations operating under its Articles and Memorandums of Association, the rules that govern the operation of it. IRCA may be the overall regulating body, but the Articles and Memorandums of Association regulate the company. The Articles of Association stipulates that the company, in order to stay legally viable, must have an annual general meeting every single year. Every single year. The fiscal year ends on the 31st of June every year. At that point, all officers and directors of the company are automatically no longer in office. They are unofficial. Their powers are defective. An annual general meeting comes. You have you have an audit from external auditors, KPMG. One time it was the Deloitte & Touche, but a financial breakdown of the financial operation of the company must be filed. Then you have a vote by 2/3 majority of the shareholders. The company was suspended in 2012. The company was never liquidated. The company was never placed in receivership, and the liquidator was never appointed. Here you have an unauthorized illegal board operating as if the company was still a living entity. Follow me now. The authority, the authentic legal foundation of the company, once the company came in suspension in 2012, with letters going out to all of the agencies saying that we now suspend business because we cannot meet our utilities and operational costs and expenses. The company is never placed in liquidation. The company still operated as if it was legal.
So let me ask you, because I know we are running out of time and they're going to a break. How do you believe resolution can come out of this?
Now, this is what we are here. I called an emergency meeting on Sunday to deal with a very pertinent, urgent matter. Mm-hmm. The warehouse is the last primary asset belonging to an entity called the BSL Profit Sharing Retirement Trust and Plan, which owned the warehouse on the East-West Highway. I have a sale, or I had and still have a sale for that East-West Highway. But that East-West Highway is entangled with persons who were appointed as trustees from a board that legally don't have no power and don't exist legally. Tied up in court from 2017 to now, received the monies, distributed the money to themselves, and no money is left, and employees did not get paid. Evidential proof. The sale, which I give to Mr. Clinton, of a new buyers that are interested in the building, have fresh cash on the table. From that date to now, I can't facilitate it. I send it to the Attorney General, the judge in the original matter of the assessment exercise, and the Chief Justice. The reason why I called an emergency meeting today on Sunday is because 4 weeks ago, the buyers say, Mr. Chancellor, we have to pull out. If you cannot facilitate the sale, we're walking away.
Wow.
We gave you enough time to execute.
So we
are now in the last hour.
So you're hoping that something happens quickly?
I have 70 affidavits here from pensioners who want their money. I have one who's legally blind, one who has cancer, one on dialysis, one who partly paralyzed. These Bahamian workers and citizens have been abused, placed in bondage, and their constitutional freedom have been violated.
Right.
While they're still before the courts in a matter which the prima facie evidence shows that they have no win.
We gotta go to a break. But I'll tell you one, so Turnquest and Ms. Nairn, we're hoping for the best. This has been going on for so long.
We're going into 13 years now.
13 years.
And 100, this is now the 29th. We have persons right now that are very, very sick. I can't wait for the courts right now. My people are dying. My people are dying. Bahamian workers and citizens who have kids and family and children are dying. I have money on the table right here. The buyers told me, Mr. Turnquest, we are pulling out because you cannot execute the sale. Close to $4 million. They started at 3.5. We negotiated 3.7 million, 3.9 million. They're willing to facilitate trying to help us. And they wanted that property on the East West Highway. I can't worry about the legal ramifications of me coming to the press to deal with this matter. These are human beings of life. They need their monies. And I have to do what I have to do to execute them getting their money. That's the bottom line.
Thank you, Mr. Turnquest. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. Thank you. Our prayers are with you, Ms. Nairn. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Stay with us. We're back after this. Stay close.
That's the bearer of Baha Mar. I like to go down. Oh yeah.
Hardware is the helpful place. Everything you need under one roof, from electrical, paint, plumbing, outdoor, barbecue, automotive, lawn and garden, pet supplies, houseware, and seasons. Hurricane season is now here, so for all your hurricane needs, we have a 25% off bargain zone.
Hey, thanks. I would have given more stuff, but I didn't bring my money. I thought this was a club, and I thought everything was free. Finally know what it is now. Ace.
We're located on St. Albans Drive, West Bay Street, open Monday to Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and closed for lunch 2 p.m. to 3 p.m.
This Wednesday, tune into the ZNS network for Darrell Miller Day as we celebrate his life and legacy. At 9, it's Legends, followed by a special edition of Immediate Response at 10 a.m. Later, excerpts from Darrell Miller programs, including Legends and Darrell Miller Live. At 3 p.m., tune into a live memorial service in tribute to the late broadcaster on ZNS radio and television. At 8 p.m., it's Darrell Miller, Final Farewell, a live 1-hour special. Join us for Darrell Miller Day, Wednesday, October 30th, beginning at 9 a.m. on the ZNS Network.
That's the bearer of Baha Mar. I like to go down. Oh yeah.
Welcome back. Well, folks, if you love Bahamian music, we're going to end on a great night tonight. This segment is for you. Bahamian music superstars Dylan McKenzie, better known as D-Mac, and David Ferguson David, that's your name?
Yes, sir. That's what the D is for.
Famously known as Funky D. David are here to tell us about the latest thing going on. Oh, who's David Ferguson? All right. So Funky D and D-Mac are here. And of course, you know the big event is happening this weekend. If you're looking for some place to go, have some Bahamian music, we have the greatest Bahamian performers and entertainers here. Guys, welcome to the show. Good to have you. Boy, people need to exhale, so people will be looking forward to this. Tell us about this weekend.
It's going to be a blast. I mean, it's going to be history in the making. 19, 20 of top Bahamian artists in one concert.
All stars.
Yeah. And only for general business. You can imagine 19 Bahamian acts for only $60.
Wow. Wow.
That's history, man. It's the biggest ever, I think.
Yeah, I know they had it added. So this weekend, November 2nd, is going to be the Keep the Vibes Alive concert.
Keep the Vibes Alive.
Yeah, so it's the top of the elite of the Bahamian entertainers that are going to be performing. You're looking at, like as Funky was saying, 19 artists. But if you look at it, Mr. Turnquest from ESC Distributors has even added more entertainers onto the
19 now?
So it's about 20, 24, 25.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. If you're looking at $60 and you pay and you getting 25 acts,
that's huge.
You're looking at about 40-something cents per artist. I'm just saying. You're looking at it
just in case you want to break it down.
You're doing the max, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's all about showing the support for Bahamian culture and Bahamian music and coming out there and showing that love. And that's what we're here for. You know, people always see us on the stage and they say, boy, this thing is going on, but they don't really know that labor that goes into really putting off shows like this and actually really performing for your country and performing your cultural music. It's not easy.
Right.
And so we have been doing this thing. A lot of people compare us to say, oh, they want to see the bigger artists. They'll go spend this ticket. They're going to spend any amount to go see these other artists. But when it comes to the Bahamian thing, then it they kind of shy off.
But I noticed that this Bahamian show could match up with any of the foreign acts that come here. It's going to be. I mean, a lot of times people say, oh, that's just Bahamian, that's just Funky D, that's just T-Man. But hey, man, look here, you get 19, 25 Bahamian acts on one show, and I'm telling you, this show is going to be better than any show you've ever seen.
And I differ from you. People don't say, oh, that's just Funky D, oh, that's just T-Man. People say, that's Funky D, that's T-Man. I've seen how Bahamians respond when you guys are on the show. And I think I'm happy to admit that. I think Bahamians are now coming into their own of respect for our own artists, and I think you do get the accolades that for years have been missing. Bahamians are now appreciating what it is you bring to the table.
I hope what you're saying is so true.
Yeah, I have kind of seen it, but I think from the aspect of we're looking at. I always call it a cultural pride, but from that position, I think we still need to drum up more cultural pride into it. And if you look at it, we were talking about crime earlier. These series of concerts, Bahamian concerts, are the concerts that you're going to go to, and you're going to get no type of altercations. These are those type of concerts. You know,
just a good time.
Yeah, it's a great time, and so that should be something that even should be encouraged as well.
Are we seeing now more and more events to promote Bahamian music? I always follow, especially you, D, and you always booked. and before it used to be maybe one this month and one next 2 months, but now it's like every week there's something going on.
Yeah.
Are we now seeing that Bahamian artists can actually now do this full time because there's enough work to keep people busy?
I would have to say, I mean, for me personally, as my career, yes, I can say that for me.
Right.
But I can also say too, though, that it comes with a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And it comes with a lot. Your work ethic has to be at a higher level, because we have to perform harder than these other persons that are around here. We really got to put it out to really get that kind of love that people give us back. You know what I'm saying?
What about you, Funky?
For me, I've been one of the fortunate entertainers. I've been at Super Club Breezes for now 30 years. 6 nights a week I've been there entertaining, international audience.
So you're able to sustain yourself?
I'm able to sustain, but like he says, like there are some artists who T-Mac may be getting, like you say, every show.
Get all these bookings,
artists,
but that ain't everybody.
Yeah, so a lot of them have to do other things. A lot of them work elsewhere.
Yeah. I've always talked about it in this country. I said, we have too much talented artists at a world-leading destination to not have our people busy and booked. Something we got to find the solution to that.
Way back in the day, we always say back in the day, I remember when any government official traveling to anywhere would take a Bahamian act along with them.
Just to showcase.
To showcase. That doesn't happen anymore. That's one of the things I think we need to get back into.
Good idea.
Because, you know, I've been fortunate to go to Brazil, Argentina, all these places with Clement Maynard when he was Minister of Tourism. And that was, you know, that was really about showing the Bahamas entirety. Because we not only took artists, we took straw workers. Of course, you've been with me when we've been to Dubai. And we took all the whole entourage. We need more of that to happen.
Good point, good point. So tell them again about Saturday, what they can expect from this lineup of artists.
Well, just quick too. Sustainability is one.
Yes.
In terms of what we need in terms of culture. So I know we talk about the orange economy a lot.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of information coming out about the orange economy, but I have yet to see anything come to fruition on the orange economy.
Maybe
so that's very important.
Maybe it's an apple.
Good point. And then the copyright law that I mean it was in place from a long time ago. It's just now we need. I see the commissioner and all of these officials on TV, but we also need now, because there's some criminality we need to show on that too, because now when we talk about collecting what is due to the artist, I'm talking simple things as blanket licensing for music being played in public spaces.
Just for lines. I mean, if we had that in place, you know, you'd have been a wealthy amount of dogs on Baka Baka. Everybody quotes that line.
That's correct.
It's a line everybody quotes.
But these are things that are law. The law, we just need them enforced.
Right.
And so it's a lot of those things that we need government assistance with. You know, we're not looking, I mean, for you to give us the fish, but we want you to be able to assist us so that we will be able to fish for ourselves. And those are the ways that we can do it. Now on Saturday, we got big things going on. I can let y'all know it's gonna be crazy. We have an all-star lineup. We have, like I say, about 24 amazing artists. We have junkanoo as well. So there's gonna be a rush out there on Saturday as well. And the area, and I have to give the Keep the Vibes Alive crew their kudos, because this is not the regular show that you would talk about when you just going to see something on the side of the scene. The setup, the venue setup is I'm talking like top notch. And so that's, you have skyboxes, you have skyboards, you have all of these different things going on. And so this is showing Bahamian music at a different level, at the elite level.
Where's it going to be?
Breezes Parking Lot, Super Club Breezes.
It's going to be nice.
And I also like to say the promotion of this concert has been spectacular.
I've been hearing it everywhere. I've been hearing companies competing, but who can get this skybox and get that skybox? So it's obviously hitting the corporate scene as well. So hats off to Les Turnquist and all of the team for an amazing job of putting production together. This is what we need. This is how we take Bahamian music to the next level, by giving our artists what's due to them. So looking forward to hearing from you guys on the weekend.
Be there!
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's our show. Thanks for joining us. Tomorrow night, we don't have a show. We have a special 1-hour feature tomorrow, all day here at the Broadcasting Corporation. It's Darryl Miller Day, and so we'll be featuring and paying tribute to Darryl Miller. So there'll be a 1-hour special tomorrow for Darryl Miller. And then on Thursday, we have a special show for 30th anniversary of JBI. And then you'll have somebody else in this seat for a week. I'll be on vacation, and I'll be back after that week. That's a rundown for us. Thanks so much for joining. Good night. Royson Jones, 11 o'clock. Royson is in the house. I see him getting ready for 11 o'clock news. Join him at 11 o'clock tonight. Good night, everyone.
At Harold One, I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
Sexual offenses are considered the most heinous crimes after murder. On this episode of The Legal Brief, we're going to discuss rape, incest, indecent assault, and other offenses. Overall, we pose the question, is the judiciary striking the right balance? Are persons being convicted? And if so, are they receiving appropriate